you drive your car. I love to drive, but I saw in the Boston paper the other day that in Illinois, there is an automobile accident every minute of every day and every night, every week, every month, and all year long. Every minute, according to insurance statistics. You think you're a good driver? Your life depends on it. We're going to have an 18-year-old here who may be the best teenage driver in the United States today. We'll have some film, we'll have some tips, and we'll show you how to get into your car and drive off safely. Think you're a safe driver? Would you like to be a safer driver? Would you like your children to be a safer driver, or your mother or father? We're going to tell you how. The young man I'm sitting next to here may be the best first-year licensed driver in the United States. He is Dana Levan. He's 18, and he's had his driver's license for less than a year, and yet he won first place in the 1978 Operation Driver Excellence competition. That's a contest sponsored by AMVETS, that's the American Veterans of World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and the Dodge Corporation. Dana is not a racing car driver. He simply does with excellence what we all should do when we get behind the wheel of our own family chariot. Congratulations on winning the prize.
Thank you.
What did you win beside the trophy? I know you won a trophy.
Oh, yeah. $2,000 and a brand new car, Dodge Aspen.
$2,000 make you a professional driver now, Dana?
No, I don't think so.
Still an amateur?
Still an amateur.
We have a piece of film, and I think it would be very good if we looked at that film, and then you talk to us while we're watching the film and tell us what we're seeing.
Okay.
Okay? Here we go.
Okay, this is the zigzagging portion of the test. The object is to get through the cones without knocking them over. This is test your depth perception. Try to get the tires to the two balls. Emergency stopping test. Maneuvering. Follow the green light and get into the slot. Without knocking the cones over, of course. Another emergency stop. This tests so that you're able to handle if you would happen to go into a skid. And of course, not hitting the cones. Trying not to.
You don't know when you have to stop, suddenly you have to stop. Is that the way the test
works? Right. This is the freeway part driving of the test. Parallel parking. Very important part. And this is the end, the winning. And this is me winning my trophy.
Who is that?
That's me.
I recognize him. There he is.
Yeah.
Good shot. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's not an easy test, is it?
No, very difficult.
What mistakes, if there's such a thing as a worse mistake than another mistake, what are the worst mistakes that the average driver makes?
The worst mistakes. Usually, a driver will not be able to use an acceleration lane. It happens all the time. It's very frustrating for me personally.
What's an acceleration lane?
When you're approaching a highway, there's always an acceleration lane to use before you get into the main flow of traffic.
That's on the extreme right.
Right.
In other words, when you come up on a thruway or on a turnpike, there's a little lane like this before you get into that.
Correct.
Now, people don't know what to do with that?
No, most people stop and wait and look around, and then when they see an opening, they try to get in there.
What should they do?
They should approach 50 miles per hour before going into the main flow of traffic. And then when they reach 50 miles per hour, have your turn signal on, of course, check all your mirrors, and then try to get into the main flow.
How did you learn to be a good driver? You're 18 years old. You had to drive it for 1 year. Is it intuitive?
I would think so, yes.
Did you take
reaction time? Of course. And I also had a driver education teacher who helped me quite a bit. It all goes through from the beginning in your high school years, how well you drive, everything really, all your schooling.
Insurance companies seem to think that young people are the worst insurance risks because they pay a lot more for insurance than an adult. Even if they get married, their rates go down for insurance. Do you think most kids are dangerous drivers in this country? Most 18 to 20-year-old single males are dangerous drivers?
I would say a majority are, but...
Why? What makes them dangerous?
I think kids are always trying to drive as fast as they can, usually. But then, of course, younger people have a quicker reaction time than older people, so they're able to drive better, usually. But they try to exceed a speed limit and go faster. So this is what knocks them down. But then, young people pay a higher insurance rate. And like myself, I pay a high insurance rate. but I haven't been in an accident yet. I'm not worthy of that high insurance, I don't think.
No, I mean, here you are, you just won a test as the safest driver in the country. I dare say you haven't had an accident. Mm-hmm. Why should you have to be penalized? Why doesn't the insurance company charge you an adult rate?
I think that's a fault.
It's a fault in the insurance law.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I would think so.
We had a little list here that a single male under 21 who owns his own car pays 3 times the insurance rate that his parents pay.
Mm-hmm. That's correct.
But don't you think that's based on lessons learned by the insurance company of how frequently that age category gets into accidents?
I think so, but I think I'm not worthy of that insurance cost until I... Yeah, and other safe drivers also. There are many others, not just myself.
What advice would you give to somebody who said to you, tell me how I can drive better?
Be a defensive driver.
Which means?
Try to look for critical clues all the time on the highway. For example, let's say a child was on the side of the road. She would, you have to always look for the unexpected. Maybe she would happen to run out in front of you. You always have to expect something, expect the worst all the time.
When you're driving, how often do you look into your rearview mirror?
At least once every 5 seconds.
Really? Your eye goes like this, bang, bang, bang.
Just a glance and back down to the road again.
Do you ever use the outside mirror on the left-hand side of the car?
Oh, yes.
If you could change driver laws in this country, is there any law you would like to see changed?
I would like to see all the laws in the nation standard for driving. If you go into, let's say, New Jersey, parallel parking is 6 inches away from the curb, no more for a car to park. If you go somewhere else, sometimes it could be 8 inches, sometimes it could be 12 inches, and then there's the right turn on red. How are you supposed to be able to drive in another state if you don't know the laws? It's ridiculous.
So you think that every state should have the same speed limits, the same parking laws, the same turning laws, and the same turnpike laws?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like to drive on turnpikes? Are you intimidated or terrified by these mammoth trucks that come streaking at you at 80 miles an hour?
Mm-hmm. Terrified.
He's terrified, but he's a safe driver, and you can be a safe driver too. Use your rearview mirror, don't exceed the speed limit, and always get into the car before you drive it. Thank you very much, Dana.
Thank you.
And congratulations again on winning that award.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this message.